Hello, hello, hello everyone. How are we doing tonight? Ooh, the stream is a little laggy at the moment. Ooh. Uno momento, ladies and gentlemen, as we reset a couple of things here. Maybe. Alright. Come on. Alright, fantastic. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to turn the stream audio down for a second here while we talk. Alright, welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon, and we're back here with our amazing racing community, the Gran Turismo racing community, the GTRC, and we're here for round 3 of our newest championship series here of the BMW E30 series. So this is a great little series. It's starting to gain some popularity and some steam here. Currently, right now, we have 10 drivers slotted in for the race here tonight, and we have some new faces on track as well, and we'll go over that for everybody in a couple minutes' time. In the meantime, we want to give a shout out to Tom Provost for coming in and becoming the newest follower here at GT45 Gaming. So we definitely appreciate that extra level of support, and welcome to the Winner Circle community, my man. We appreciate you. So it is a grid start with a false start check, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 1 hour endurance race. 60 minutes around Road Atlanta here today. It is 3 times tire and 3 times fuel consumption. So every time they go around Road Atlanta one time, it's like doing 3 laps to every 1 lap on tire wear and the amount of fuel that these BMWs are using. So that will mean there will be a pit stop at some point in time throughout the race. The damage model is on light, so although the damage doesn't stay permanently, it still does cost that driver 30 seconds of damage until that damage does disappear. Refueling speed is 8 liters per second, ladies and gentlemen. Slipstream, of course, is real. It is a 10-minute qualifier. Now, we are not running as the qualifying setting in the game because it's been creating problems, so these gentlemen will get 7 hot laps for qualifying here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. We do have a woman competitor here on the track this week, and it is her first race here with the GTRC as well, so we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. The PP limit for these races, as it is not a BOP series, it is 645 is the performance points allotted. It is 257 maximum horsepower and 2,167 pounds is the minimum weight for these drivers to have in these cars. So these cars do have to go through tech in order to be on the racetrack. They do use the racing soft tires only in the series. And then the regular rigmarole that we typically see, it is random weather. The weather variable is 5 times, ladies and gentlemen. So it's 5 times the normal speed for the weather here today at the GTRC. So welcome in. I hope everybody's having a great day today. And I mean, I hope we're all ready for some racing. We've just watched a little practice race from the group here, and it looked pretty good and close and tight. So I think we're going to see a really good 1 hour long race here today. We just had another driver come in, so it's going to look like an 11 car grid here today, which is just fantastic. All right, so it's round 3 of, I believe, 5 rounds in the mini-series, ladies and gentlemen. So we're halfway through our mini-season. And like I said, we're seeing new faces on track each week. We're seeing lots of interest in the car. It is the old 1983 BMW M3 Evolution. Going back, the 89 is going back a few years to some old BTCC style racing. A little throwback with these BMWs here on the racetrack today. And there's our female competitor here today, ladies and gentlemen, Just Penelope. And she's quick. It's going to be interesting to see how she does here today. We got Scott Arthur coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing very well. Alright, so we're just going to go check on everything. And we are having a little bit of an issue here with the stream today. So let me try to ease up some of the power being used by my computer. Alright, I apologize those viewing on YouTube. The lag is slightly there. We're going to try and rectify the problem here right away for everybody. these overlays sometimes cause me issues, so it just requires a lot of power to use it. We may have to unfortunately scrap the overlay. We love it, but we'll see. Alright, so we do have 11 drivers. So let's go through who is on track here today. We do have Apex Racing's Bar 27 here on track. We've got Sikkim AC as well on track, and this driver is very, very quick. We have Apex Racing's Pigums here on track as well, also a very quick driver. We've got GR Ibra, he's just coming out of pit lane here. And I don't think we're starting qualifying just yet, but it's definitely getting close. We got Hair Razor here in P5, so our usual suspects. We've got Type R here as well. We've got Tap, and then the rest of our drivers not currently on track here. So we do have 4 more drivers that are just hiding in the wings there, waiting for qualifying to start, maybe making some last-minute adjustments, of course, to those racing cars before everything goes down here today. So we're just going to hang out here in the detail screen or the chat screen, and hopefully the stream settles in for everybody. We are definitely monitoring it very, very closely. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we do have just a small amount of lag from a couple of our drivers in the lobby here, but the lobby looks real good. So there we go, there is a lobby reset, so we are going to see qualifying take place here right away. So let's get you into the live scene, and maybe that'll settle the stream down a little bit as well. Alright, so quali is officially underway here, ladies and gentlemen, so we are very quickly getting going here at GTRC today, right on time as usual. These guys are very, very good and prompt at keeping us on time here throughout the series, so we love that and appreciate that. Of course, we do have quite the combination of drivers from all over here in the GTRC during these events, and that is why we see the races at noon. We'll call it 3 Eastern time for argument's sake. That seems to be the general time zone everybody runs off of. So 8 p.m. UK time, of course, is very late for our UK drivers already, or getting to be late. So we have a mixture of United States. We have some UK drivers. We also have some, I believe, that's Romanian. I could be wrong on that. I apologize if I am. My flag knowledge is a little bit rusty. But welcome in, everybody, and I really do hope that it's not still buffering for you guys over on YouTube. I apologize if it is. I hope it really settles in here today. Kind of keeping an eye on it myself here as well. I'm trying to do everything I can to give you guys the best experience we can today. Apparently my equipment is unhappy today, so that's unfortunate, but we'll keep it rolling. We got Nolander BFAM coming in with that thumbs up. Is it lagging on Facebook as well, Nolander? It could be I need an update on my computer type situation. That's usually when things start going awry here with Streamlabs. So we are officially under qualifying. Like I said, we will have 7 laps here around Road Atlanta. So already these guys and gals have done their out lap. They're already on their hot lap. So let's stay on board with Pigums here, as he's the first driver out on track out of the group. And let's see what he puts down, and then we'll try to follow the field through. We got Doug in that Labatt's blue car, and we'll continue to go on through the field. And we don't have any sound again. Oh, this thing today. Come on. Come on. Play nice. Come on, stream, be good. Hey, Nolander coming in with that big time share, not seeing any lag yet. Alright. So it might just be YouTube having an issue here today. Alright, so what do we got for times here? Pigums is just getting around to that point right now. Here we got the final chicane bus stop, whatever it is you want to call it, I suppose. Everybody has a different term for this corner. Kind of like a bus stop, I suppose, but it is a fairly hard braking zone, so I consider it a chicane, followed in by a really elevating, undulating, changing corner at high speed here to come to the start-finish line. And Piggins is going to come around, obviously, and Pole would be the first one through with a 25.647. Bo Snipe's going to jump into second place there. Doug is going to pop into third. Type R is just coming around. Let's see what Type R puts in here. It's going to stay in fourth. Where's Tap? Tap's going to move up into third. So where's Snozzle? I was going to put him up into fifth. Super's going to come around, put him up into fifth. We got Sikkim coming around here. Sikkim is going to move up into not seventh. We've got Ibra coming around here right now. Where is Ibra going to slot into here? These are just the first laps. He's going to stay in ninth. We got Bar coming around. He stays in 10th. We got just Penelope coming around here right now, and a little bit of lag coming from this driver. And this is our woman competitor. She's going to go on pole with a 125.5 flat. And our final driver, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, Hair Razor going to come around there. And we're going to see what he has here. So just Penelope has already parked in the pits. Maybe happy with that lap, but I don't know if that'll hold up. This is a fast field of drivers, so we'll see if she comes back out. Maybe she made a mistake. She's just resetting, and Hair Razor is going to go up into P10. So it is just Penelope on pole position currently. Even though you guys don't see that on the screen, that is where we are sitting, ladies and gentlemen. So very good lap there by just Penelope as we start our qualifying off, and we're just going to add some standings into the stream here, ladies and gentlemen. So I do apologize if they pop up and interfere with what you guys are looking at, as I will have to resize it and all that fun stuff when it pops up. Actually, that's not too bad. Alright, let's go over the standings real quick here while we're qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, because I will forget during the race. We do have Oliver Smalley in the lead with 31 points. Doug Barrow very close behind in second with 30 points. Ibra in third with 24 points. Tap in fourth with 22 points. Sikkim in fifth with 21. Hair Razor is in fifth, tied with 21 points. Bo Snipe in seventh with 18. Piggums in eighth with 17 points. Trone Kobe in ninth with 16 points. And Type R rounds out our top 10 with 13 points here so far this season. So very tight at the top of the standings there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go see what's going on here on track as we're on lap 4 of 7 here in qualifying. It is now Piggums still sitting. It is Piggums in pole with a 125.173. That'll have Sikkim sitting very close behind here in second place, just a 10th behind, and then just Penelope now down into P3, so back out on track. Doug Burrows in fourth. Hair Razor in fifth now. Bow Snipe down to sixth. Tap down to seventh. Supra in eighth. Snozzer here in 9th, Type R in 10th, Ibra in 11th, and Bar 27 here in 12th. So 12 drivers entered here this evening. So it should be a good race. And Piggum's bettering his lap now with a 124.9. So the first driver to dip into the 24s here. And let's see what Sikkim has here. Didn't look like he got a good run. Maybe went off track a little bit there, but just Penelope coming around here. Let's see if she improves on her time if she comes around and puts in... Ooh, that was just an outlap, so that one did not count. We have Doug Burrow. He's just coming around here. He's about midway through. 126.035 is his best so far. Hair Razor with a 126.2. Tap with a 126.6. Bo with a 26.8. Super with a 27.4. Type R with a 28.2. We have Snozzer with a 28.2. Ibra with a 29, so he's not had his best lap yet. And Bar 27, we're just not gonna. Yeah, he hasn't locked in his best lap yet either. So a couple of the drivers struggling here in qualifying, but still a couple laps to go, so plenty of time here for these drivers to lock in the best time. You only need one. You only need one good fast lap, and that could be everything for your racing position here. But it is Piggums very early on here in the race, lead sitting on pole position in qualifying, but we still have a couple laps to go. It is definitely anybody's game here. We know this gentleman's fast. We've seen she's fast already. She's got a big penalty there, so it'll nil and void this lap. We know Doug is fast. We know all these drivers are fast. So I mean, really, it is anybody's game. We got some slipstream work happening here between Tap and what looks to be Type R. I had to think about that for a second here. as of course they're out of sequence in the position on track. Obviously you see just Penelope just ahead of these guys here, so a three-way slipstream starting here. This could actually benefit these drivers. Oh, and Tap's gonna actually come into pit lane, so Bo Snipe in 7th, Supra in 8th, Type R in 9th, Snozzer in 10th, Ibra in 11th, and Bar still in 12th place here. He still hasn't locked in that perfect lap, and Biggums is just gonna park it here. He's pretty happy. It's going to be up to Sikkim here now to try and get any of that time on him, and he does not do so on this lap, so I think it's going to be one more time around for Sikkim here. Doug Burrow does improve on his with a 125.8. That puts him up into 4th place still. Air Razor will be in 5th. We have Tap here. Will be in 6th. We have Bo Snipe here in 7th, Supra in 8th, Type R in 9th, Snozzer in 10th, and just Penelope is sitting here in 12th, but currently sitting 3rd overall. Of course, with a 25.5 on the racetrack. So just a few drivers left on a hot lap here. We have Ibra, we have Sikkim. A tiny little bit of lag coming from Sikkim there as well. So just here and there is little tidbits. There we go. The YouTube is really settled in now. Fantastic. That's what we love to see. All right, we're going to see if we can get our dashboard back up on Facebook here now. Sikkim is coming close to that start-finish line. Let's see who else is there. Doug just went across. Harris just went across. Bull Snipe's just coming around right here, right now. Gotta get my dashboard up here and we'll be good to go. Or not. Alright, that's fine. It's all look good in the hood. Alright, let's take a look. Again, Pigham's already parked it here. He's happy with his time, so he's just put that thing down. We got Sikkim here. He's got a half-second penalty. He's not going to do any improving there. Just Penelope's on an outlap, so probably not going to clock anything in. Doug's coming around here. He doesn't improve there, so he's still sitting in 4th place. We've got Hair Razor here. He's sitting in 5th with Bo Snipe in 6th. We've got Tap in 7th. We've got Supra in 8th, Type R in 9th, and he's coming around right now to see if he improves. He does not. We have Bar 27. He's coming around here right now as well on his hot lap, his final one here as well. So let's see if he can improve on his time. He hasn't had the best of times here, but he has moved himself up into 10th. So let's see if he can better that time yet here, move a little more up that order for the start of our race here. So here we go. Bar coming around. He's a little over halfway around the what everybody likes to say, the chicken drumstick track here in Road Atlanta. But this is it's an interesting racetrack. It's very small, it's very technical, but it's very flowing all at the same time. So when you get it wrong, it's ugly, but when you get it right, it feels so good. So here we go with Bar 27 as he comes around here. We have one more car on a hot lap here. I'm just not sure which one it is. And Barr is going to come around. Not. Oh yeah, he does improve on his time there. 127.3 is what I see here. So it doesn't put him up any position there, but definitely an improvement. Just Penelope just coming around there. She is going to sit on the grid here in P3. So our grid is set. So we'll be Apex Racing's Pigham's on pole position. It will be Sikkim here in 2nd place. It will be just Penelope in 3rd, with Doug in 4th, with Hair Razor in 5th, with Bo in 6th, Tap in 7th, Supra in 8th, Type R in 9th, Bar in 10th place, Ibra in 11th, and Snozzer in 12th place. And Snozzer also one of those new faces here this week, ladies and gentlemen. So it can be interesting to see how these drivers handle this fast group here today. at Road Atlanta. Welcome in, presented by the GTRC, the Gran Turismo racing community, and I am your host for today, GT45 Gaming. So let's get ready to get down and do some racing. We're just sorting out the driver that just entered the lobby here, so it'll just be uno momento, but there's usually about a 2-minute wait before we start the race here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so what we are going to see is once the race starts, we will be sitting on chase cams, just moving the cameras around. And once the race settles in about lap 2 or 3, of course, we will then jump out and move into the TV cameras and let them take over the production value of the race, and we'll do what we do here and let everybody know what's happening and try to catch all the action. I feel like there's going to be a pretty crazy race here today with 12 drivers on the track. These old 80s BMWs, I think it's going to be very spicy here. I mean, we're not talking race cars here. We're talking old technology, old cars, tuned and dialed in a little bit, obviously, to be better suited for a racetrack. But still, at the end of the day, these are still street cars, ladies and gentlemen, so they can only do so much with them. We're not going to see these things stick to the road like you would see a GT4 or a GT3, GR2, prototype, any of those kinds of cars, super formula cars. This is turning a road car into a road circuit racing car. So they're loose. They feel dirty air quite a bit differently than a race car does, and they're just a whole lot of spicy and fun to drive around these racetracks. So Road Atlanta is definitely going to be a tricky race here today for every one of the 12 drivers in the field here today. Have to see who comes out on top after an hour-long endurance-style event here today. So welcome, and I hope everybody's ready for some racing. If you haven't liked or shared the stream out yet, you wouldn't mind doing so, that'd be fantastic. It is free to do, and it helps us grow. And if you've done so already, well, we appreciate that support, and you're absolutely legendary. So, who's ready? We're probably about a minute away from race time here, ladies and gentlemen, so things are about to get spicy. And we are sitting with our pole sitter here, Apex Racing's Bigums. There we go, we're just getting the drivers checking in. Everybody's giving the word right now. Once everybody gives the word, we will see a race. And there it is. The word's been brought down, ladies and gentlemen, so it is race time here. Oh, hey, do we have TV cameras? Fantastic. Interesting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, kick them tires, light them fires. It's time to go racing. The drivers are lined up. The lights are coming down. 5 reds. We're waiting for a green. Let's see when the green comes down. And it's green. We're green. We're green. And Sikkim gets a good launch there, but so does Piggums. And it looks like the whole field really settling in on a good launch there. Everybody kind of in their respective positions here. So let's see what happens coming into turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 here at Road Atlanta. It's just a sequence of corners here. And it's going to be Sikkim on the outside as he tries to get the move done on Piggums. We got a car, ooh, into the runoff and into the wall there. That is not how you want to start a race. Oh, that is super unfortunate there for that driver. So it is Piggums in second, Sikkim up in the first place. We got just Penelope right here chasing in third. Dugborough in fourth and Hairraiser in fifth. Tap in sixth, just in behind there with Supra and Type R just in behind them as well. So very, very quickly the drivers have sorted themselves out into single file here. We got a half-second penalty from Tap here in that mellow yellow cold trickle car. We've got Supra here in P7 chasing here. Ooh, you can see some of these drivers already struggling under braking with these cars, trying to get out on them. The rear ends are very spicy. You can see Doug there getting a little bit of a wiggle on exit, as well as Supra. We got Type R in behind chasing here as well. We have Apex Racing's Bar 27 here in 9th. We've got GR Ibra here in 10th. We've got Snozzer up into 11th. And Bo Snipe. Oh, it was Bo Snipe that was the unfortunate driver we've seen going off the track there. He has gotten that car back on track and in the right direction, but he has some time to make up very early on in this race. So let's jump out and get back in as we start lap 2 here. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There are our TV crew hard at work. Let's do this. The Ladder Gaming coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, my dude. Appreciate you. Hope everybody's doing well. But it is Sikkim very early on in the race lead here. Piggums chasing in second, and he has a mirror full of that pink BMW of just Penelope here in third place. First race of the season for her. We've got Doug chasing in that Labatt's blue car here in fourth place. And very important message, please don't drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great message on that car. We've got Dugborough, or Hairraiser, sorry, here in fifth place in that classic martini livery right there, ladies and gentlemen. Supra here in a 6th, and he's got rocking. What's he got rocking here today? We got a Omega Express livery going on. That car going a little wide there. He's going to pay the price for a penalty there for the track officials. I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh wow, and it looks like they were lenient on him there, assuming, deciding that he didn't gain any time on the racetrack there, so opting just to let him get away with that with probably just a warning. But we are going to see, a little bit of contact there between Tap and Supra, but Supra was sideways coming around that corner and left Tap nowhere to go, so Tap is going to grab that position, slip into 6th place. Supra now to get a slide right in behind in 7th. That was a great job by Supra there to keep that car underneath of him and still keep it in the fight. Got Ibra here in 8th, with Snozzer now reeling him in up into 9th place. So Type R has dropped down into 10th with Bar 27 chasing here in 11th. And Bo Snipe is very quickly gaining on these guys. So a couple of drivers struggling here very early on in the race, ladies and gentlemen. And that's not surprising. Road Atlanta is a tricky enough racetrack on its own right. And then we're going to throw some old 1980 BMW cars on this track and let them rip. It's definitely going to provide for some interesting racing here today, this afternoon, and this evening. So welcome in, everybody. This is a family-friendly podcast as well, so please do feel free to let the kids sit down and hang out and watch if that is what they choose to do as well. We definitely like to try and allow the whole household to enjoy the broadcast here at the GTRC and GT45 Gaming. So hope everybody's having a fantastic start to their weekend, and I hope everybody enjoys this race because it's going to be a doozy. It's just getting started, but it is about to get spicy, I'm sure. Apex Bigham's here just chilling in behind Sikkim. Just Penelope sitting right there in 3rd place. She's just chilling in behind Bigham's. Doug Barrow and Hair Razor just a hair off. These two just sitting there tucked in behind each other. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Tucked in behind each other here as they're trying to catch up to that podium pack up in front. Again, Hair Razor tucked right in behind. Let's jump on board with Hair Razor. This is a little look at these little BMWs here. We'll see what we can see. There's the rear. We can't really see too much as far as what the car looks like inside from this camera view, but yeah, it's your basic, mom and dad BMW drive kids to school kind of car. Turned into a race car basically for the circuit, for road circuits. So very interesting here. We got Tap in 6th place, and he's already seen a gap develop there. Supra chasing Tap there. Tap getting away from Supra very quickly here as well. Ibra is just coming into this final corner here, and he has a whole mirror full of Snozzer right in behind it. These guys have a little gap, and then this Type R, Bar 27, who's lost Type R a little bit here, and Bo Snipe now up into 11th. This Bar has made a mistake there and just getting that car sorted out. So Apex Racing's Bar 27 having a rough race here today, ladies and gentlemen, but it is Sikkim, and he is now currently the fastest man on the racetrack right now. Oh, it is Pigham, with a 125.473. He stole that fastest lap away from Sikkim there as he came across the line, and Sikkim's in all kinds of trouble here. It should allow for a move from Pighams, or at least Pighams to get right up into the fight here. Where's Penelope? Penelope's just a little bit behind here, so Pigham's alone in this battle for 1st place right now. He can really focus on this. Let's see if he's going to make a move, and no, Sikkim is immediately going to go defensive here. And he's like, nah, I'm not playing this game yet, so let's see how this works out. Actually, that does give Pighams the inside. My apologies, I forgot where we were on the racetrack, but this is one of these corners, ladies and gentlemen, where where you can get a good exit and get the run on coming into the final corner here, and that's exactly what Sikkim has done here. And you can see he got a great run on Pighams, and Pighams got the lead there temporarily, but Sikkim's inside coming into the start-finish line here is going to grab that lead back from Pighams. So great little battle being had by our 1st and 2nd place driver, but this has allowed Penelope to move right back up into the fight here. So this is very quickly becoming a 3-way battle for the lead here again, and boy, oh boy, that was a great attempt there by Pighams, but Sikkim just laying back a little bit, making sure he got a good run through that chicane, and absolutely got the job back done on Pighams to take the lead back from him. So nice little battle up front there, but a cautious little battle as well. Doug here in 4th place with Hair Razor still in tow. Both these two pushing to catch up that front pack here a little bit. We've got Tap in 6th place here, and he's broken free a little bit here from Supra, and then Supra's like, yeah, no, hold on, I'm coming, mate. We ain't done yet. So I guess the question is, do they work together or do they battle? We're already starting to see some pretty decent-sized gaps between some of these groups of cars. So Ibra and Snozzer here in 8th and 9th place. So I'm not sure what's happened to Type R here. He's dropped down into P10. Bo Snipe is chasing here in 11th. And Apex Racing's Bar 27 just having a rough start to his race day here today, as he has not had that car locked in yet so far, it looks like. That's racing though, folks. But it is Sikkim in the lead, and we've been talking about this driver a lot this season here at GTRC. He's pretty much won everything so far. So it's very, very interesting to see the response from the group and the field and the competitors as the season progresses on this driver. He's a very, very quick driver, and he has that fastest lap now with a 125.011, so basically a 125 flat here. Pigham's chasing in second, just Penelope just right there in third place, and she's just been chilling here in third place. She's just been keeping these guys close and just watching it all unfold in front of her, maybe saving a little tire and fuel while she's at it. We got Doug here in fourth place. He's just cruising right now. He's just working on trying to catch that pack up in front of him here. Hair Raiser in tow, and it does look like they are starting to gain. 2.7 seconds is the gap from Doug and Hair Raiser to that front podium pack. Then we've got a 10-second gap from Tap and Super here, and not sure if these two are working together, if they're battling, but it does look like that back group is starting to gain on these guys as well. So that looked like a bit of a tap there from Super to give Tap a push there, but I can't really tell if that was just a good run out of the exit. He just miscalculated and bumped into Tap, or if that was actually a little push there to get these guys up the road a little faster. So 10 seconds is that gap, so we're going to monitor that. But in the meantime, while that's happening, it's only 3.9 seconds from Super to this next pack with Ibra and Snozzer. So we haven't seen these two battling yet. We have Type R up into 10th here, and Bowsnipe is reeling him in. So Bowsnipe is on an absolute mission right now. Bar 27 here in 12th place as well. And a little bit behind the whole straightaway there, basically, which is a fairly large straightaway here at Road Atlanta, probably about a mile. So yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do here, but it's very early in the race. We're only 10 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. You can't see the timer there because these thingy-jiggers are up on your screen. Let me remove that for everybody. There you go, now you guys can see that. Alright, so it is Sikkim, but Pigham's is still right there, half a second behind. Just Penelope, 9/10 of a second in behind. It's 3.7, almost 4.7 seconds here now to Doug and Hair Raiser. Oh, but we have a driver off, and it's Pigham's. Oh, Pigham's making a mistake. No, maybe contact between him and Penelope potentially there. So Doug up at the second, Hair Raiser at the third, just Penelope, and Apex Racing's Pigham's here in 4th and 5th place. So I'm not sure what happened there. We just missed that, but maybe maybe I've attempted battle there from just Penelope on position, or maybe Pigham's made a mistake and collected. We can only speculate, ladies and gentlemen, but something definitely happened between those two drivers, and both those drivers ending up off the racetrack. So Pigham's finding himself 7.5 seconds behind that front pack now. Tap has moved up into 5th place. Just Penelope has dropped down all the way to P6, so from 3rd to 6th place, and Pigham's from 2nd to 5th, so both drivers losing 3 positions here. Supra in 7th now, racing, so this is becoming a 4-way battle here potentially between this group. We have Ibra and Snozzer here, which are 3.7 seconds behind still. Bowsnipe has now made his way around Type R, and he's moved up into P10. He's got 8.5 seconds now to make up on 9th place driver Snozzer, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Type R here in 11th with Bar 27. Oh, and a penalty for Bar, and his day is just unraveled on him here today, unfortunately. That transition from pad to wheel is a process, ladies and gentlemen. We know he is definitely a much more efficient race car driver than he showed so far this season, but the transition does take time sometimes. So it is Sikkim here in the lead, and he got really wide there, but I mean, he's now developed a 7.5 second gap with the departure of Pigham's and Penelope in behind him there. So what turned out to be not such a comfortable cushion has turned out to be a very, very comfortable cushion. And I don't know if this driver just has the luck of the draw here or what, but what turned out to be a potential race-long battle for the lead has turned out to be one driver potentially running away with this thing now if these guys can't reel him in. So Doug's now down into 3rd place, so Hair Raiser's got to move around Doug here, and these two have done a pretty good job at really just chilling with each other and trying to catch that front pack, but man, they got their work cut out for him right now. We got Apex Racing's Piggins, and he's 6.7 seconds, so he is starting to close in on that front pack. We have just Penelope, who's now gotten around Super. She's back up into P5 here and trying to chase Pigham's down 5 seconds in behind him now. We got Waldemir coming in with that thumbs up. Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. We got Supra here in 6th place with Tap in 7th. We've got Ibra having a little battle here with Snozzer in 9th. So position here for 8th place, and Tap maybe having an incident and falling a little bit behind here as well. But Snozzer and Ibra having a great little battle there, a little tire rub in there as they're coming through the corner, but these guys are on it, and Ibra is going to defend the position there coming through into turn 1 and up the S's here. So that was a great little battle between Snozzer and Ibra here, and we're going to stick with this just for a moment to see if this develops any further here throughout the lap. But typically we're going to see these guys set that move up for the end of that long straightaway, and of course going into turn 1. But if you can get a really good run through this interior section of Road Atlanta here, you can really make up some time on the driver in front of you. Granted that they don't, click together the perfect sector as well. But a very technical racetrack with these old race cars, and these guys are doing a pretty good job here. But we've definitely seen some of the drivers having their struggles today. It is Bo Snipe intent, and he is absolutely reeling these guys in here now. Type R is just falling behind slightly at bar 27. He is working hard, but he is just not having the best day on the racetrack here today. It's really unfortunate, but hey, that's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Racing is racing. Some cars, just don't work as good as the next car around the track. It all comes down to the way they tune and set these cars up and the way that the drivers drive the cars at the end of the day. So sometimes we see our drivers struggle with these cars, but it is Sikkim here in first place, and it's Doug here in second with Hairraiser in third. So Doug's gotten back around Hairraiser here, and he's taken second place back over. We have Piggums here in fourth place, 3.7 seconds behind, so he is definitely closing in on these guys. Just Penelope in fifth place, and she's maintaining that gap from Piggums, which means she's reeling them in as well. Super here in sixth place, and he was right in the middle of this little battle here, but all of a sudden now he is just a little bit off. Ooh, getting a little bit wrong there, but keeping it together. We've got Ibra, he's up in the 7th here, and he's opened up the gap a little bit on Snozzer. Snozzer has also gotten around a Tap here, so Tap dropping a couple more positions, but Snozzer made a mistake on the exit there, and Tap is going to take advantage. He's going to go up the inside here, and should get the job done in this double apex corner coming up here. It's a very long set of two corners, this one. It's a weird one. Ooh, Tap almost got it wrong there, and Snozzer's going to take a look up the inside, and this is a good attempt by Snozzer, but Tap got a great exit there. And Snozzer's just going to settle into 9th place here, but now he's got Bo Snipe on his tail, and oh, here we go. A little touch there, I think, between the two. Nope, I think he just missed him, so here we go. Bo Snipe looking for that P9 position, but Snozzer's not going to just give it away here, as they're going to be side by side coming into the next corner. Ooh, there we go. So it's going to be Bo Snipe just edging him out into 9th place as they come into the chicane here. Let's see if Snozzer can reply on the exit, but boy, oh boy, we got a nice little battle in the mid-pack happening here right now. And Bo Snipe does manage to get the job done nice and tidy. He moves himself up into 9th place after a horrible race start for this driver, and he is back on the hunt here. He's now trying to track Tap down in 8th place. So Snozzer dropping down, holding out the top 10 here. We got Type R in 11th and bar 27 rounding out the field, but it is this man in the lead, now 9.9 seconds up the racetrack. Love to see if anybody can catch this gentleman. Now he has no pressure, so without the pressure, there's a less chance of him probably making mistakes here. There's also a 124.8 on the track there from this driver as well. We've got Doug here in second, and he's just about got Hairraiser out of that slipstream, but I think these two really do need to work together right now to make sure that Sikkim does not continue to open that gap up too much. Piggums here is starting to reel him in. He can see him. It's 3.3 seconds. It was 3.7 last time around. Just Penelope's just off in the distance here as well in 5th, so both these drivers working hard at catching up. You can see Super just coming over the hill here in 6th place himself. We're going to have Ibra and Bo Snipe, and Bo Snipe is on the move. So Tap has made another mistake here at some point. Bar 27 in pit lane. Ooh, and Snozzer has wiped out. Hard hit into the wall here, and he is just trying to get himself sorted back out. Tap is going to grab that position. Snozzer's going to drop down to P11 there, so making a mistake. Type R moves up into 9th. We have Bo Snipe now up into 8th, and Ibra is now the target, 1.1 seconds ahead of him here. We have Super 5.2 seconds up the road from them. Just Penelope is almost 12 seconds up the road from that mid-pack, so the top 5 are really starting to break away here. Piggums reeling the boys in here on the podium, 2.9 seconds, so he gained another half second on that lap. Hairraiser and Doug, they're starting to get close into each other here. They're going to need to working together to keep the charge of Piggums off, and of course keep the charge on Sikkim in the lead up. So they are gaining a couple of tenths here and there on Sikkim, but for the most part he's maintaining that pace on these two drivers in the race lead. We got Ian coming in with that like and that share. Much love, brother. Hope you're doing fantastic. So bar 27 in pit lane here, and these guys are looking at the car. He is not happy with this car here today, and he is in there having a little discussion with his crew chief and his pit crew about this race car right now. So we'll see if they do some adjustments on this car and get him back out on track. Alright, Sikkim in first place, and boy, this is Doug and Hairraiser nose to tail here in second and third place as they come around. And we don't know where Piggums is. He's just coming down the hill, so he is right there. He can see these guys, and he's really hoping to see these guys start battling a little bit to make this charge a little bit easier on him here. But these guys have been working really well together here today. They're not unfamiliar with each other. They're very used to racing each other. They know each other's racing styles very, very well. And that usually provides for good teamwork when it needs to be done. So, guess we'll have to see if they can catch that leader. That leader broke free, and he's just cruising right now, but the gap is coming down. These guys are starting to close up the gap on the leader slowly but surely here as they continue up the racetrack. So let's see if Hairraiser doesn't seem too interested in making a move here right now. And these two are definitely seeming to be interested in working together. Let's see what happens as we come up this very long straightaway here now. And Piggums is just closing in. I think Piggums is feeling the groove here today, ladies and gentlemen. He did have something happen there, but boy, he is definitely reeling these guys back in here. 1.5 seconds is that gap, and Hairraiser doesn't seem too interested in battling with Doug here right now. That's a good smart decision by these two drivers, but they may have to start battling, or let's see if Piggums just hooks up with these guys and starts working with these guys as well. But he is definitely right there with them. Just Penelope here in 5th, and she's lost a little bit of pace off to these guys, but still trying to reel them in as well. Supra in 6th with Bow Snipe in 7th. We have Ibra in 8th. We've got Type R there in 9th. We have Tap in 10th. We have Snozzer in 11th, and we have one driver sitting there having a little chat with his crew trying to get this car sorted out here today. So it is Sikkim in the race lead. It is Doug here in 2nd. Hairraiser in 3rd, and now Piggums in the discussion here as he is in the slipstream of our 3rd place driver, Hairraiser. So Piggums has done his job here, and he has worked hard to reel these guys in. Just Penelope in 5th, and she's doing much of the same thing. She's been working real hard back here to try and catch that backpack up and get back in the fight for the podium. She is only 5.9 seconds off, so now with this three-way group developing in front of her, this may be an opportunity for her to grab some free time, depending on what that little pack of cars opts to do here. So 8.8 seconds is the gap from our race leader to Doug Barrow here in 2nd place. We have Hairraiser in 3rd, tucked right in behind, and Piggums just in behind these two in 4th place as well. So let's see what happens here. These guys all got to work together. Ooh, Doug almost got it wrong there, and that almost cost him 2 positions as he has 2 drivers just right there on his tail. And it's actually a smidge of amount of lag we're seeing there from this driver. So it is Hairraiser in 2nd and Piggums in 3rd. Now, Piggums has been pushing pretty hard here a little bit. He may be just happy with tucking in behind these guys and maybe saving up some of that fuel that he may have burned off that he didn't necessarily want to burn off. So Piggums is in an interesting position here, but I don't know. I think with his pace and with how quickly he reeled these guys in, he really does just need to focus on finding his way around these guys as quickly as possible to start trying to reel the race leader in. The longer he sits behind these guys, potentially the more it could hurt him, as he just seems to have the pace on him here today. It is Joe coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, my dude. Hope you're doing good today. Piggums in 4th and just chilling right now, and just chilling. We know, we're used to seeing this driver race around. I'm not surprised to see this move by him, but he's also a smart race car driver and probably realizes that that leader is slowly but surely getting away. Just Penelope here in 5th place and moving up the road quite quickly here. She is working really, really hard on catching up that pack in front. And it's 4.5 seconds now is that gap. So as this little group has kind of gathered themselves up, I think they're kind of slowing each other down a little bit here, and it's allowing just Penelope to really gain in. So there we go. Piggums has got the job done. He has made the move around Hairraiser and put himself back into 3rd place here. So I guess the next question is Does he set Doug up and repeat the process here and take second place back over? Now, this is where Apex Racing's Piggums was, and then something happened in one of the corners and he wasn't anymore. So he has worked real hard to get back into this fight. About time you had a poll again. It's your daily admin check-in. Good luck, racers, and hello, Winter Circle. Stay winning. You like that poll, Joe? Thought it was pretty clever today. But it is Piggums chasing down Doug here, so let's see if he can reel him in. Let's see if he gets a move done on him. He may very well just follow him through the sector here and try to set him up for a slingshot pass here, but we'll have to see how it plays out here. And I think Piggums has realized that he doesn't want to be in behind these guys. He wants to be in front of these guys. Penelope is chasing and closing in. Ooh, and Hair Razor getting it all kinds of wrong there, plus a half-second penalty on top of it all, and that means just Penelope is on the hunt. And look at that time coming down. She will be very quickly on top of Hair Razor here. Boy, has this battle developed midway through this race between these four drivers. Ooh my. What's that gap to the leader? 7.3 seconds. So they are slowly but surely trying to get that leader up. They've knocked a couple seconds off him here over the last half a dozen laps. Apex Piggums here in third place. Doug is quick. He's hard to catch. So Piggums working hard at doing so. Just Penelope now has gotten around Hair Razor and moved herself back up into fourth place as well. And she's on the hunt for that pack up in front. Hair Razor having an unfortunate series of events there, dropping down into P5. But we're not even halfway through this race yet. So we got plenty of time to see the fireworks go yet. We got Bo Snipe. He's moved his way all the way up into P6, I believe, right back to his current starting position at race start here. He went wide off the track in the early turns here and got caught up in a really bad runoff spot, hit the wall, got himself back on track, and he has made some moves in this race. Ibra up into 7th. We have Type R up into 8th. We have Snozzer back up into 9th. Supra's here in 10th. We've got Tap down into 11th, and Barr is still having a discussion with his crew. So, Sikkim, 8.7 seconds. He gives a second, they lose a second. And we got a battle here for second place. Apex Racing's Piggums and Doug Burrows side by side. We got Paul coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, my dude. Side by side coming into the chicane here. But Doug has the inside track if he can hold up beside Piggums. And no, Piggums is just going to know. He is going to tuck right back out inside of Piggums here, and he is going to try and make the move on Piggums on the inside, but Piggums has just a little bit of a better run than Doug there. Let's see if Doug can get the move back coming into the final corner here, coming to the start-finish line to start lap 18. Piggums taking very wide exit, trying to maximize that whole corner here at speed to try and break that gap up. He doesn't want to leave Doug in the slipstream here. Now he has found his way back to second place. If the gap is 8.5 seconds. Doug Burrow here now in third. He's got 2.1 seconds on just Penelope in behind, but that gap is very slowly but surely shrinking. Just Penelope is now pressing the matter. Hair Razor in 5th place with Bo Snipe in 6th. That gap is 22 seconds. Let's see if he can work that down. We have Ibra in 7th, Type R in 8th, Snozzer in 9th, and he's having a pretty good race here for his debut. Supra in 10th, and Tap in 11th, and this just has not been Tap's day today. We know he's a very good driver, and just not having a great day here today. Yo, what's up, Trucks? How you doing, my dude? But it is Sikkim in the lead, 9.1 seconds, so a little bit of a battle between Piggums and Doug, slowing Piggums down a little bit in the charge, backed up to the lead. We got Heath Harding going, hey, let's go, Bo Snipe. Love that. Heath coming in with that thumbs up and the 50 star bomb. Let's get a hashtag Heath up in the chats, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in with the massive star bomb there. Appreciate you, my guy. It is Doug in third place, and he hasn't let Piggums get away here. He hasn't reeled him back in, but he has not let him get away. But, ooh, Doug got a little bit squirrely there. Coming up over the hill, so that's going to allow Just Penelope to start to catch up slowly but surely here. So Just Penelope starting to put some pressure back on our final podium driver here, Doug Burrow currently. Hair Razor's in 5th place with Bo Snipe here in 6th. We've got Ibra in 7th. We've got Type R in 8th. We've got Snozzer in 9th place. We have Supra in 10th. We've got Tap in 11th. And boy, this guy's not a happy driver here today. That car has just not been right today. And he's got that thing in pit lane, and they're definitely trying to sort that thing out. And you can see the crews looking at that car, lurking in the background, getting the baby to sleep. Good luck, all. Hey, appreciate you, Ian. Appreciate those hashtags up in the chat as well, ladies and gentlemen. We do have Sikkim 7.9 seconds on Piggums, so Piggums has already dripped off a second and a half here. Doug Burrows just a second outside of Piggums, so just about outside of that slipstream range here now. And just Penelope starting to move into it, but she does pick up a half-second track limit penalty here, and that will slow her charge down a little bit on Doug. We should be seeing pit stops here as well very soon as we're approaching about the midway point of our race here. We have Bo Snipe here in 6th place. We have Ibra in 7th. We have Type R in 8th. We have Supra in 9th. We have Snozzer in 10th. We have Tap in 11th. And boy, Bar 27 just chilling there right now. Not looking good for the Bar 27 racing team here today, ladies and gentlemen, as that car is just sitting there chilling. And it's really unfortunate to see, but hey, that's racing. Sikkim here in 1st place, and he has had a pretty comfortable gap here for the majority of the race. And I mean, Piggums and just Penelope at the beginning of the race were putting all kinds of pressure on him, keeping him honest, and then something happened between the two drivers, or something happened to the two drivers, and they both went off track, and it gave this driver almost a 10-second gap to work with. But now, slowly but surely, Apex Racing's Piggums is chipping away at the leader's time here. Got Doug Burrow trying to stay in that slipstream so he can get pulled right into this fight for the lead as well. And just Penelope doing everything she can to keep up to Doug. But Doug's opened up the gap just a tiny little bit on this driver here currently. Hair Razor, he's working hard at just getting caught back up to this pack here. 3 seconds in behind the group. We got Bo Snipe. It was 22 seconds. It's now 23 seconds. So having a hard time catching up that front pack as they seem to be on just a slightly better pace than the rest of the field. We have Ibra, and he's just all alone here in P7 right now. Type R, much of the same thing in 8th place. Supra, much of the same in 9th. And then we got a little pack here starting to brew between Snozzer and maybe some mid-pack traffic, I'm not sure. But Tap, and then of course poor Bar 27. And I really don't think we're going to see that car come back out on the track here today as well. So that's super unfortunate. Oh, and Snozzer going into pit lane there, it looks like. So Sikkim is just coming around him there. That would have been lap traffic. But he does enter pit lane to make his pit stop. So Snozzer, one of our first drivers to come into pit lane here. We've got Piggums, and he's going to come into pit lane here too, and he was cooking into pit lane. We have Hair Razor here in 4th place. Just Penelope is also going to come into pit lane in behind. Bo Snipe, what is he going to do here as he comes around? We have Tap just up ahead of him as well. So we have a couple of our drivers starting to see the lead lap part of the group here, so a little bit of separation between our front and back half of our packs today. But these road cars are a challenge to drive here on Gran Turismo 7, so credit to all the drivers out here giving it their all with these cars, trying to do the best they can. It has definitely been a fun series here so far. Ibra's going to come around, he's going to go around again. Type R, we're not sure what he's going to do here, as he's just getting to that point. We have Supra, Tap, and Snozzer, first one out of pit lane, and he is followed there by I believe it was Apex Racing's Piggums. So Sikkim still has an 8.6 second lead on Doug Burrow, who opted to stay out. Hair Razor here in 3rd place, he stayed out as well. Piggums is the first one out for the lead lap traffic here in P4. So when the leaders pit, this will be Piggums in the race lead here. So he did go for an undercut situation here. We have Ibra in 5th place. We have just Penelope coming out in 6th. Bo Snipe's coming out here in 7th. He's going to come out just ahead of Supra here. Type R's in pit lane there in 9th. We have Tap coming around, and Snozzer, of course, who we just seen come out of pit lane there. He's getting that blue flag wave, so you can see he's just letting Piggums go around here. And he's got a whole gaggle of cars coming around, unfortunately. And Bar 27 here rounding out our field today. Looking like it's going to be a DNF for that driver here today, but it still will be last place points for starting the race. So it's not all lost for that racing team here today and that driver. But it is Sikkim, 15-second gap, but he is going to have to make a pit stop at some point here in the race. Hair Razor's now come into pit lane. Doug has now come into pit lane. Ibra is coming into pit lanes, and that leaves Piggums coming around. So Piggums has a 47-second gap on our race leader here currently as he comes around trying to do the undercut. And Sikkim going for an overcut strategy here by the looks of it as well, as he's the one of only 2 drivers out that have not pit. Hair Razor's just coming out of pit lane, and he has a pink BMW all over him there as he comes out of pit lane. So she's up to speed on some fresh racing tires that are up to temperature, and he's out on some cold fresh racing tires. I think this is going to be Penelope here to get the job done currently. As you can see, she just makes it around Hair Razor. A little bit of nice play here by these 2 drivers to make that work. Just Penelope's going to slot up into 4th place. Hair Raiser's going to get his tires up to temperature and try to stay right in behind here, and then they'll rejuvenate that battle a little bit later on in this race. We got Bo Snipe here back into 6th place, and he only lost a couple seconds in the pit stop there, so not too bad. Supra in 7th, Ibra in 8th, Type R in 9th. We have Tap in 10th, Snozzer down into 11th, and we can see Doug just on the back end of him there. So Sikkim just waiting to see when this driver opts to make his pit stop and see where he comes out in comparison to the rest of the field. Right now the gap is 46 seconds. I'm not sure what the pit delta is here at the racetrack at Road Atlanta, but I guess we're about to find out if that's enough time to maintain the race lead when he comes out of pit lane, because it is going to happen this time or next time around. We'll have to see as he's going to make that decision when he comes, and it looks like he's going to go one more. We're not in the right spot. I was in the wrong set of corners. I don't know if he's going to have the fuel to do one more. He may have the fuel to do one more. And you can see now he's catching up to Ibra here as well. So putting a bunch of cars a lap down and then just going to pit to give that position back to these cars. But the trick with being a lap traffic car is not to give up any of your own time to let the leaders through. So that really is the ultimate trick here. Ooh, there it is. Sikkim just about getting it wrong, and he does get it wrong. And oh boy, that changes everything here, ladies and gentlemen, as he didn't mean to do that. He just got that tire out in the grass. He was trying to set up for pit entry here, and he's going to pay the ultimate price here as he comes into pit lane. So that did not help his cause, trying to get out in front of Apex Racing's Piggums here. Piggums has the pace to win this race today. If he gets out in front of Sikkim here and gets a nice little gap, it could potentially be enough for Apex Racing's Piggums here today. Paymate coming in with that thumbs up. So Piggums right now sitting in 2nd place, the leader in pit lane. Let's see if the undercut has paid dividends. Now remember, the leader just made a mistake coming out of this exact corner, coming into the wall at the bridge there. That is going to cost him very, very valuable time entering pit lane, which means that's going to cost him valuable time for the whole pit stop process here. And let's see where Piggums comes out in comparison. Sickham's just coming out of pit lane here right now. So Piggums has closed up that gap to under 2 seconds here. So that was a very good undercut, and a little bit of a mistake, of course, made by the race leader up in front. So it is race on here between these two. 1.2 seconds is that gap. Doug Burrow's 4 seconds behind here in 3rd place, and he has just Penelope chasing him down here for that final podium position. This is the final half of the race. Hair Raiser very close in behind, just 1.5 seconds behind here in 5th place. So these top 5 positions are nowhere near sorted yet. Go Ape, go Piggums, says Pebe, sitting pretty boy. Bo Snipe in 6th place, Supra in 7th, Ibra in 8th, Tap in 9th, Type R in 10th, Snozzer in 11th, and Apex Bar looking like it is going to be just an unfortunate day at the racetrack for that driver here today. And it happens to the best of us, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really does. So, Sikkim in the lead. Piggums, 2nd place, chasing 1.4 seconds. Now, Piggums definitely has the pace to battle with this driver today. The bigger question is the undercut strategy going to be a plus or a minus for this racer at the end of the race? Sikkim has 2-lap fresher tires, so it could be tough for Piggums here to race him all the way to the end of the race. This is going to require some strategy here from Piggums, I think, as he tries to chase our race leader down. Doug just getting around Snozzer there, a little bit of lap traffic. Done very well there by Snozzer to try and not make these drivers lose any time, or himself. Much of the same thing here for just Penelope. She had to take it a little bit shallow there, but he does a good job getting out of the way in a very difficult spot. Now he's going to have to deal with Hair Raiser, as Hair Raiser's coming around here as well, but Snozzer tucked very neatly into that slipstream, and ooh, Hair Raiser went for the great big exit there, and he just got it a little bit wrong, and he's going to pick up a half-second track limit penalty for it, unfortunately, as well. And Snozzer is just chilling here. He's doing a great job at letting these lead lap cars through and not lose any speed for his own race as well. So tough circuit here, tough sector, lots of room, lots of respect given here by these drivers, and we're going to see Hair Raiser most likely get around here, and then of course he may lose that spot back to Snozzer to serve that penalty, and then they'll have to repeat the whole process again here. So there we go, there's that penalty served. Let's see if Snozzer gives that up before the corner there. And nope, he's just going to tuck back in front. Hairraiser's going to take advantage of this, so and use that slipstream to get back up to speed. So this isn't necessarily the worst thing for Hairraiser here after having to serve that penalty. He can use that slipstream, get his car back up to speed. Oof, and there we go. Schnauzer made a big mistake. He's just going to make sure he gets out of the way. That was a great racing awareness there by Schnauzer. Very good looking race car driver. He has a bright future here. We got Bo Snipe in 6th place. We have Supra in 7th. We've got Ibra in 8th place. We've got Tap here in 9th. Type R down into 10th. Schnauzer having a little bit of a struggle here, but he's looked real good here today. And Bar 27 here in 12th place. I believe he just joined the league literally today in the series today. So just getting into the rhythm and figuring out this car and the settings and strategy and all that stuff. He's doing a really great job here today. He's been battling good. He's been driving well. And he definitely looks good on the racetrack. So once he settles into the series and settles into the community, he's definitely going to be somebody to watch out for, I think. But we have Sikkim and Piggums, and boy oh boy, Piggums is working it. He's trying to close up the gap here, and a little bit of an interesting strategy here because Piggums essentially is going to have a lighter race car right now on these new tires. So this could be advantageous for Piggums, but it could be a disadvantage at the same time. Doug Burrow 6.8 seconds behind these drivers here now, so losing the pace on our front two drivers here currently. Just Penelope is only 1.8 seconds in behind Doug. Hairraiser here in 5th place, 2.9 seconds in behind Just Penelope. Bo Snipe is in 6th here, and he's got some work to do, but he has knocked a couple seconds off of them guys in 4th and 5th place here over the last couple laps. Supra here in 7th, Ibra in 8th, Tap is now back up into 9th. Type R down to 10th, and of course Schnauzer in 11th place here. One driver looking like that car is going to go behind the wall at some point here today. And I think they're just going to load it on the trailer and call it a day. That's unfortunate, but hey, it happens. Sikkim in the lead. He's trying to maintain that gap right now on Piggums. You can't lose him, I don't think, because again, these drivers are very close in pace here today. Sikkim currently does hold the fastest lap on the racetrack, however, with a 124.879, so that is a bonus point available there if he can hold that lap for the remainder of the race. Piggums here may have other ideas about that though, and if he can't get the lead from this driver at the end of the race, he may try to at least get that fastest lap point from that driver. We have Doug and Just Penelope, and boy oh boy, it is battle on. Let's jump on board with Just Penelope here as this battle develops. Now let's see if Just Penelope just gets the job done and maybe decides to go around Doug here, or let's see if these two work together to try to close up that front group ahead of them. Now Piggums and Sikkim aren't working together. There's a big enough gap between the leader and the second place driver where slipstream isn't quite a factor yet, so they're not really making up any time on the drivers in behind them. So if these two decide to link up and just work together for, I don't know, even another 10 minutes, it could be a four-way battle for the race lead here today. Clearly these two have very similar pace with Just Penelope and Doug Barrow here, and Just Penelope's just tucked nice and calmly into that slipstream here right now. Doug, let's see if she's gonna attempt to make a move through this sector here. Probably not. It's not the best place to try and make a move. This corner not so much a bad spot, but then of course the follow-up S's here, very difficult sector. Hard enough to do single file, never mind 2x2. So but you can see Just Penelope's got a really good run. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, just she didn't mean to get the contact there. She just had a better run through there. And Doug does a great job of gathering that car up there, and it's going to be race on here as they come uphill. We're coming down into this really weird double right-hander, essentially 180-degree corners. Two corners to make one really weird 180-degree hairpin. And a little bit of a break here. You want to get that apex, swoop it out wide, and get on the power as quick as you can. And actually great exit by both these drivers here. So let's see what happens here. It's Just Penelope starting in that slipstream and slingshot engaged. And yeah, she's not too interested in working together here by the looks of it. Ladies and gentlemen, she's interested in taking P3 away from Doug Barrow here. Let's see if she can get the job done. Doug is trying to hold that inside line, and he is going to hold that inside line coming into the chicane, but it looked like he got squeezed off there a little bit, so he's just going to have to settle back in behind Just Penelope. Ooh, and a little sideways coming off the curb there, so it is Just Penelope now up into P3 here a little bit. We didn't have the greatest camera angle there to watch that battle, but my apologies on that, but great battling here between Just Penelope and Doug Barrow, and I'm sure that this isn't over yet. And Hairraiser's had an opportunity to close some of that time up now on these drivers as well, down to 2.2 seconds. So good news for our fifth place driver here as he's trying to get back into the fight for the podium. Get it, Piggums boy, says Jake. How you doing, Jake, my guy? We got Supra here in 7th, we've got Ibra in 8th, we've got Tap in 9th, we've got Type R in 10th, and Snozzer rounding out the field here at 11th. Bar 27 has that car parked there. He has not had a good race start here today, and the car just didn't seem right all day long here on the track, so he's got that crew trying to sort it out. And it is Sikkim in the race lead here, but he's going to have a half-second penalty here. Now, something must have happened to Piggums here in the chase, as Piggums was right in that slipstream range and now 3.5 seconds back. So a little bit of a mistake here, or maybe just held up by some lap traffic potentially in the chase to try and track down the leader here. That could very well be it, but now very slowly but surely starting to come back down. So just Penelope here, 8.8 seconds away from second place here. She's got 1.7 second gap on Doug. And Hairraiser here is closing in now in that slipstream here of Dugborough. So these two work together pretty good in the first stint. Let's see if we see some of that here in the final stint as well. Bo Snipe here, half-second penalty, and he has been losing time to Hairraiser here. So, but doing a very good job at maintaining the front half of the back pack here with Super in 7th, Ibra in 8th, Tap in 9th, Type R in 10th, Snozzer in 11th, and not a whole lot changing in the back half of our pack here today. Really, the fight's kind of been up front here today. Even though Sikkim has had a large part of the race where he's had a decent sized cushion, he's definitely starting to develop into something a little bit more. Just Penelope here, she's trying to reel Piggums in and has about the same pace right now, but she's not really gaining or losing. But she is gaining slowly on Doug and Hairraiser here now. Hairraiser's caught up to Doug. We have 43.5 minutes gone in our race, so we have 16.5 minutes remaining here. So we're going to see approximately 12 more laps, give or take. And these two work together. They work together really good here. Again, like I said in the first stint, they made up some time, so they have time to do that here right now. They don't necessarily need to battle this early on for this final position. They can definitely just work together here a little bit and try to catch back up to that third place driver, but it does look like Hairraiser is going to tuck up the inside here, and he is going to try and make the move on Doug. And ooh, a little bit exidy slippery there, and oh boy, the driver's having a great battle here as we're leading up to the final corner and come into turns 1 and 2, the final corner coming into the start finish line. It's going to be side by side through this high speed corner. Great job by these two, lots of respect given, but it's going to be Doug up the inside, and Doug's going to maintain P4 currently from Hairraiser. That was a great attempt there by Hairraiser, but a little bit of a wiggle there in the chicane, and that may have cost him the move there. Bo Snipe in 6th, Super in 7th, Ibra in 8th, Tap in 9th, Type R, and he's got just Penelope on his back door, and he's just getting out of the way there. And Snozzer here in 11th, so Sikkim in the race lead, and he has caught up to Tap here as well, and another half-second penalty here. So Piggum's losing pace here a little bit on our race leader here right now. Still 15 minutes to go, so lots of time here for Piggums to make this up, but he needs to continue to gain time and not lose time on the driver here. He needs to try and lock this thing in here and really home in on his laps and see if he can reel them in. 3.7 seconds is that gap. We got Supra in the pit lane here now as well. Doug Burrow and Hairraiser. Hairraiser going to try the same thing going into the same corner here again. He is. Doug was going to go defensive there, but he's still leaving enough room there for Hairraiser, so he's going to squeeze him real short. And he definitely got him real short there. A little bit of contact, as you see Hairraiser backed off of it there. And Doug defending the position from Hairraiser there, forcing him real tight to the inside and just not letting him get into the corner. And sometimes the best offense is a good defense, ladies and gentlemen. So Ibra here in 7th. We have Supra in 8th, Type R in 9th. We got Tap in pit lane here as well. He's just coming out, a little splash and dash for that driver. And here we go. Ooh, we see some smoke up in front of our race leader Sikkim here, so maybe a little bit of an issue from Supra there as he was just coming around the corner up in front. And you can see Sikkim quickly gaining on our 8th place driver Supra here. So these lead lap guys are definitely on a different level of racing here today compared to some of the group, but pit stop strategy is playing a bit of a factor, of course, and just the way that the race has started. See some drivers have some very early on mistakes made that cost them time, and they've been having a hard time making it up since. So see a little flash of the lights there from Sikkim to say thank you to Supra. We got Piggums coming in here, 3.4 seconds. He's going to have to make his way around Supra here soon enough. Just Penelope coming in as well. She's got a nice little tidy cushion here now on our 4th and 5th place drivers, Doug and Hair Razor, who Doug has opened up a small little gap on Hair Razor here, of course, probably due to that little bit of a battle we just saw there last time around the racetrack. 6th place is Bo Snipe, and just maintaining that gap here right now. So we're not going to see, unless something dramatic happens here in the back half of our field, I don't think we're going to see too much change in there. I think it's really hard to say if we're going to see another position change here today, but still lots of racing left, just a little over 12 and a half minutes remaining here. So any one of these drivers can very simply make a mistake, and that could change the whole perplexity of this race. Piggums here in 2nd place, and it's just been a couple of small mistakes, I think, from this driver here in his final stint, and it just cost him a little bit of time on the leader. But this isn't over yet. Gap is opening up to just Penelope here in 3rd place, but she is opening up on our 4th and 5th place drivers as well. So even the whole field is really starting to settle in here. So where is our race leader? He's just coming up the straightaway here, coming up the back run here at Road Atlanta. So as soon as he comes into our final corner here, we'll jump on board with our race leader and do an onboard lap around Road Atlanta with Sikkim here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, that was an interesting series of events while we had the mic shut off there. We had our race leader, and I just finished saying that anything can happen. The race is still young yet. And there we have it, Apex Racing's Piggums grabbing a race lead from a mistake made by Sikkim. So Apex Racing's Piggums now 6.2 seconds up the road from 2nd place driver Sikkim. So that was super unfortunate and bad timing from the camera guys to be on board with Sikkim there. But ooh, you can see he's really pushing now. He's really pushing it, and all it's doing is costing him more mistakes here. He needs to settle down. He still has time. There's a little under 10 minutes remaining in this race, and anything could happen to that leader up in front, just like it happened to him. Just Penelope 3.6 seconds from our 2nd place driver now, Sikkim, so she's reeling him in just slightly. Doug Burrows in 4th with Hair Razor. Oh, and Hair Razor's made a mistake here as well, in 5th place here, and that's going to be some time lost to Bo Snipe, but it's not an emergency yet. So Bo Snipe there, he's going to grab a bunch of time on Hair Razor there with that mistake. He's going to grab about 10 seconds of time there. Ibra's in 7th, Supra's in 8th, Type R's in 9th, Tap's in 10th, and Snozzer's in 11th. So, as I said, as these tires start to wear down on these cars, man, it could get a little dicey for these drivers. These curbs get slipperier. You can't put it in the grass necessarily anymore. You really got to keep it right and tight nearing the end of the race and the end of the lifetime and the lifespan of these soft tires. So 7.1 seconds is that gap here now. Piggums just needs to maintain the pace. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less right now from this driver. Sikkim chasing in second place, and he has no choice. He's gonna have to push if he wants to have a shot at Piggums. He's got 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Just Penelope really putting the pressure on here now, 2.5 seconds behind Sikkim. So our woman competitor in the series here, her first race of the season, and she is showing some race speed here today, and that's fantastic. Doug Burrow in 4th place. We have Hairraiser in 5th with Bow Snipe in 6th place. He is catching up to our 11th place driver there. Ibra's in 7th with Supra in 8th. Tap in 9th. Type R is right there in behind them. So a little battle here for 9th position potentially between these two drivers. So that's a little fun. Didn't see that one coming. And we have Snozzer here in 11th place. So we're going to be keeping our eye on this for a second. We got Sleepy 404 coming in with that thumbs up. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing, Sleepy. Facebook COD streamer, really, really good at the game of Call of Duty, ladies and gentlemen. Go check her out there on Facebook Gaming at Sleepy 404. Tell her GT45 Gaming says hi. Snoozer here in 11th place, but it is Pickham's in the race lead. Now, really unfortunate series of events for Sikkim here, and benefit has been to Pickham's, but Sikkim is starting to chip away at that time with 7 minutes remaining here in this race. So we're going to see about 4, maybe 5 more laps. Can Sikkim reel Pickham's back in? Just Penelope here, 2.9 seconds, so she's just lost a tiny little bit of touch on that second place driver as he's really starting to try and push on the leader here. Doug in 4th place, and this may be the best he's going to get here today, but as we've seen, anything can happen here today. Hairraiser in 5th place, and we've seen a spin from this driver, and he gave 10 seconds up to Bo Snipe here in 6th. Now this driver had a very early lap 1 race incident, put himself into a very tight spot into the wall, and he has come all the way back from 15 seconds in the back of the pack to 6th place here today. So driver of the day potentially belongs to Bo Snipe, ladies and gentlemen. That is for sure. Ibra in 7th, we have Supra in 8th, we have Tap in 9th, we have Type R in 10th, we have Snozzer in 11th, and again, first race for this gentleman here today too, and although he is in 11th, it does not take away that he's had a pretty good race here. He looks really good on the racetrack. So it is Apex Racing's Piggums in the race lead here, and this could be the first one for him this season here for the BMW series as well, and he has been working it, but 4.5 seconds is that gap as we have 6 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be close. Sikkim is chasing. He's pushing Doug Barrow and Just Penelope. So something happening to Just Penelope, and Doug Barrow now fighting for P3, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to move his way into 3rd place, and Just Penelope here is going to tuck in behind in 4th. So not sure what happened there to Just Penelope, but she is now off that podium position, losing that position to Doug. So a race on between these two, and oh boy. Series of events, ladies and gentlemen, series of events. And here we go, the pressure's on. It's all on the line. We have 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, and it is all or nothing here now, ladies and gentlemen. Just Penelope really pushing here, seeing if she can stay nice and tight to that Labatt's blue car in front so she can make a move when the first opportunity arises here. But Doug, he is not an easy gentleman to make a move on, so let's see if she can get the job done here. She does definitely have better tires than Doug does up in front. Ooh, we got a race. We got ourselves a race. We are going to see some battling here potentially for that first and second place as well. We are going to keep our eye on that here pretty soon, as these two are definitely tight together, but that looks like the race leader. And Piggums here starting to get closer and closer. It's just under 4 seconds as we come through the chicane here with 4.5 minutes remaining. Ooh, Super almost got it wrong there coming out of that final corner. Oh boy, here we go. It's Doug Barrow in 3rd. Just Penelope just a little bit behind there in 4th place. So not sure what happened there. Just didn't have a good exit out of that final corners on that long run, and losing a little bit of the pace here on Doug. Oh, but Doug got it all wrong, and so did Penelope. She had an opportunity to get 3rd place back there. She followed the line, and she did the exact same thing as Doug did, and it looks like they came out about the same way. So that was really unfortunate. Opportunity knocked, and she just missed out there. We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see about 2.5, maybe 2 or 3 more laps here today. That is Bow Snipe in 6th, Ibra in 7th, Supra in 8th, it's Tap in 9th, it's Type R in 10th, it's Snozzer in 11th. Bar 27 definitely has that thing parked here. It is Apex Racing's Piggums, 3.1 seconds. And boy, oh boy, the pressure. He can see that live timer. He's probably starting to see that driver in behind him here in certain parts of the racetrack there. He knows he is coming. Sikkim 2.9 seconds in behind. Ooh, it's gonna get spicy. It's gonna get spicy. We got Doug and just Penelope right here too. Battle developed here again for P3 here. Penelope is just slowly but surely closing back in here. We may see the strategic move here now from a couple of these drivers potentially here, as we are getting very near the end of this race. Just Penelope in fourth, looking at that podium just in front. All these cars a little bit banged up here today. These drivers really been struggling with this very short, high-speed technical racetrack of Road Atlanta. You wouldn't think it's too high speed, but these drivers are ripping around here pretty good. Hair Racer here in fifth place. So really the battles, I think, are here between these guys, and I'm not sure where Tap has ended up. Where has Tap gone to here? Oh, Tap has moved his way up into P9. Type R is down into P10 here, so it is Pigham's 2.2 seconds ahead of Sikkim. He's got 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. He's going to have to hold this driver off for a couple of more laps here yet. Can he do it? Oh boy, look how close these drivers are getting. 1.8 seconds. Sikkim is just absolutely pushing here right now. Pigham's is going to be looking in that rearview mirror here. This is what he sees right now. You look up at the top right-hand side of the screen, you can see it for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. He knows that driver is there. When you look in the back, out the back window of this car, hello, white BMW, closing in. Sickham's a very quick driver. He's won the first two, he won the first race, I think. I don't know if he won both, but he definitely has won one of the two races here, if not both the races this season. So, he's chasing. 1.8 seconds is that gap. We're going to go around here. 125-minute lap times. These guys are going to have 2 to go. Doug Barrow here in third place, just Penelope in fourth. It'll be the final lap for these 2 drivers. So this is it. Ooh, checkered flag next time around for these 2 drivers. And Doug really struggling with that car underneath him here right now. Just Penelope is just sizing up her competition. Last lap from third place and down. Hair Razor's coming around here right now. We have Bo Snipe in 6th. We've got Eber in 7th. We've got Supra in 8th. We've got Tap in 9th. We've got Type R in 10th. We've got Snozzer in 11th, and Bar 27 is not going to finish this race here today. But it is Apex Pigham's 1.5 seconds up the road from our second place driver, Sikkim. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? Oh boy, this is going to be insanely close. We're not leaving these 2 drivers here currently. We are going to stick with our race leader, Apex Racing Pigham's, and our second place driver chasing Sikkim here as we are getting near the end of this lap. And boy, the timer is going to be close. I think Pigham's would be much happier with this being over here, right now, and not having to hold this driver off for a whole nother lap. But we'll have to see if that is going to be the case as these guys are coming around. Ooh, it's going to be close. It's going to be within a second coming up to that start-finish line. Pigham's doesn't have the time to mess around here. He just has to send it around, and it's going to be final lap for our race leader, and Sikkim is going to come around and be on the final lap as well. So it is one more time around for these 2 drivers. It's going to be Doug Burrow coming around here for a third place finish, and boy, it was a battle for third place here for Doug Barrow today, and it looks like he's just going to edge it out. We have Super finishing there in 8th place as Doug is just coming around here right now, and it's going to be a very close 4th place finish here by just Penelope in her first race. Hair Razor is going to come around. It's going to be a P5 finish for Hair Razor, so pretty good race for Hair Razor here today as he's coming around, and we're going to stick with him as he comes around. We're going to try and keep track of our race leaders, obviously, because there's probably a battle happening back there because of what Paymate just said. So it's Bo Snipe here coming around in P6, and we are trying to keep our eyes on that. They are very close together. That I can guarantee you. All right, let's get back to it. We have Pigham's half a second in the lead on Sikkim. Sikkim is pushing. Both drivers are, it's pretty close, but I think Sikkim has the fuel advantage here. Pigham's coming into the chicane, and it all matters here. He needs, is he going to defend? Is he going to leave it open? Is he going to leave room there for Sikkim? Is Sikkim close enough to make the move? Sikkim is definitely close enough to get the run coming out of the chicane, and it's going to come down to the final 2 corners for the race win here in round 3, ladies and gentlemen. Sikkim gets it a little bit wrong. He gets a little wiggle there, and that might be opportunity knocking for Pigham's here just to hold off Sikkim, and it's going to be race win for Apex Racing. Pigham's are very close behind Sikkim in second place. Pagum's just holding off the charge. Boy, that was close. Just Penelope in 4th, Hair Razor in 5th, Bull Snipe in 6th, Ibra in 7th, Supra in 8th, Tap in 9th, Type R in 10th, Snozzer in 11th, and Bar will finish in 12th place today. Ooh, what a race there, ladies and gentlemen. We knew it was going to be close at the start-finish line, and it could not have been a whole lot closer than a drag race nose to nose beside each other. I mean, oof, Pagum's literally on a sliver, and I mean a sliver of fuel here, ladies and gentlemen. Sikkim sitting with a little more fuel and tire there. Pagum's doing just enough to keep that driver behind, and boy, that was close. That was very, very close. Ooh, good job to all the drivers. As you're all good, Nolander, I'm gonna get your channel set up for you here today. I'll talk to you here in a little bit to see what you need for your dealio. Way to hold on, bro, says Baby. Good race, all says Ian. Congrats, Pigum, says Nolander. Ooh, that was a race, chat. That was a race. Great job by all our competitors here on track. The new faces really adding a little bit of sugar and spice to the series here today too, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, we got some fast new races on the track here in this BMW series, and I love to see it. Great battling there between Hair Razor and Doug, and of course just Penelope and Doug, and just Penelope and Pigums and Sikkim, and oh, there was just great action, especially up front of this race here today. The front group really starting to stack up on pace. But, I mean, huge congratulations to all our race finishers here today. So, 3rd place driver Doug Barrow here today. 2nd place driver Sikkim. And 3rd place driver Apex Racing's Pigums, ladies and gentlemen. So, congratulations to all the drivers. Don't forget to save your replays, gentlemen and ladies. Whew, that was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic right there. Great racing by the whole group, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick it back over to our screen here. All right. That was some great battling all throughout the race here today, all throughout all the part of the pack as well. It wasn't just one little spot, one area of the racetrack where we've seen lots of battles. It was all throughout the whole pack. So we're going to see who pops in for interviews here. We should have Doug, Pigums, and Sikkim here fairly shortly. So we'll give these guys a chance to jump in, and then we'll talk about the race here today. It was a good race. We had 12 drivers to start out this thing, 11 drivers finishing under green flag conditions, and 1 driver having to retire early from the race due to whatever issue or malfunction that the car was having at the time. So it was a good job by all the racers. The top 5-6 drivers really had some good battling throughout the whole race, and then that middle pack too, all race long, was just ever so sporty. That was some good racing here from the whole group. So I'm sure there's lots of that they're talking about in that drivers chat right now while we wait in the box here. So we do have our 3rd place finisher with us. We'll just wait to see if our other 2 drivers pop in, and then we'll do some interviews. Oh yeah, the good stuff. Alright, I'm glad to see that the stream settled in for everybody here today as well. It would start off a little bit rough there with the equipment, but everything seemed to move along just smoothly once we got going, so that was fantastic. Appreciate everybody hanging in. Hope you all enjoyed the BMW mini series here today. Fun little series. You know, the GTRC does this alongside their major championship every season. They run a couple of mini series alongside that big championship, whether it be one make or a GT4 or GT3 series or other. So this is just for, you know, the rest of the community that maybe doesn't want to step on track and compete at such a competitive level. This is still a competitive you know, mentality of racing, but it's a lot more laid back and fun, and you know, the community just gets together and really just enjoys some close tight racing with each other here in this mini series. And it's also a good opportunity for some of the newer drivers in the community to kind of get on track with the group and get a feel for league racing and feel for how everything works and how it feels and how it goes, and get those tips and tricks and pointers, of course, to develop their own racecrafts and their own paces as well. So it's a really good system that the guys at GTRC have put in place here, and it seems to be really working well. We're getting lots of interest in this mini series now, and especially with new faces. So at the end of the day, that's what matters. We like to see the new faces coming in and becoming a part of the community and just enjoying themselves. So we do have all of our racers here with us. I'm not sure why Hair Razor's in here. I'm a little confused. We'll sort that out in a minute. What's going on here? No. Come on. Just 1 second, chat. Yeah, I'm having just a malfunction on my computer here. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's do some interviews here. Our third place driver, Doug Barrow, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting race for this driver here today. He was up at the front for the majority of the race, of course, with the group there, but he was as far back as fifth and up into second there for a while. I think he had a race lead for a brief moment there in the pit stop sequence, and at the end of the day, finishing in third place with a very close battle with new driver just Penelope here. So congratulations on that third place finish here today, and talk us a little bit about the race here today. It was a little bit of an intense one.
Third place was the best I think I could manage. It's quite an aggressive track for tyres, so I was running short shifting, coasting into corners a bit more, just trying to save the tyres, and I got lucky at the end of the race with Penelope falling off, and I'd saved enough tyres and more than enough fuel to be able to really push, and I think the only reason she didn't pass me back, because she is very fast, very good driver, is the fact that I was able to push fully, and I think she might have been having to fuel save a little bit. I think that's the only reason I stayed ahead of her. But I'm just happy that I managed to finish a race that's aggressive on tyres with some tyres left. So yeah, it was a good race. I got a 3-second penalty in the pits again, so that was fun. But yeah, other than that, I didn't get a single on-track penalty. I didn't fall off. It was just that pit stop, going into the pits penalty that I got. So I'm happy with that race. Short shifting it, not pushing too hard. Yeah, good one.
Absolutely, and we've seen some Hair Razor, you and Hair Razor are obviously not too unfamiliar with racing against each other, not only in this series, but just throughout the whole process with GTRC, the Gran Turismo racing community here. You're very familiar with each other's racing styles and each other's pace and each other's driving styles as well. So, the first stint, you two did a pretty good job at working together. I felt like you guys weren't really battling. You were just making smart moves when one driver had more speed than the other, and that continued just to keep you guys progressing up the racetrack a little bit quicker. And then in the second stint, it was kind of friendship over, and it was time to battle for position. So you and Hair Razor are having some good battling there with about 15 minutes remaining in the race there, and you had to do some pretty hard defending. So when you know a driver so well, what's going through your mind when you're in that battle for a position?
Well, the first stint, it was, I wasn't going to battle Razor too much. I knew he was going to have better tyres than me at the end of the stint. Work together, try not to lose the 3 guys at the front who were very quick. In the second stint, if he'd have caught me a bit earlier, I might have worked with him again. But as you say, I'm not driving at my best at the moment, and it's not a great track for me tyre-wise. So with only 15 minutes to go, which is when I'd usually like to try and push again at the end of a race, I wasn't going to give up that position. I was, I'm thinking standings for the season, for the mini season. I think I might be up top now. So it's, for me, it's just trying to hold as good a position as I can. And like I say, I got lucky. Sick and Pig had a great race. Penelope had a great race. Razor had a great race. And when he started to catch me, he was worrying me. But I can defend, so I got, I kind of got away with it when he fell off. Yeah, I'll always work with Razor for the first half if I can. But me and Razor don't work together as much as you think, as you'd report on the stream. We always we always like to get into a good little tussle. It's just we've raced each other for so long, it doesn't always look like it, if you see what I mean.
Absolutely, absolutely, and good call there as well. But just overall great race from you. You definitely looked very sporty out there. So overall happy with the result here today.
Couldn't ask for better. It's higher up than I thought I'd finish when I saw the sort of damage it was doing to my tyres over a prolonged really period of time. It's better than I could have hoped for. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. Really happy.
Well, fantastic, and any shoutouts and thank yous.
Just a shout out, thank you to everyone involved. Really, yourself, obviously, the winner, to Pig. I think it was one in the end. To Sick, who had to go, to Penelope for coming and joining us, to calling him GI Joe, but it's Action Jackson. To him for coming along and sticking with it. Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a good race. So thanks to everyone.
Absolutely, it really was, and congratulations, and hopefully we're talking to you next week for GT4 as well.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully.
All right, have yourself a great rest of your evening, and again, congratulations on that third place finish here today.
You too. Thanks again, man.
All right, so we don't have a second place driver here. Is this why Hair Razor is in the interview box? No, maybe.
It is indeed, young man.
Yeah.
I figured as much. All right. So Hair Razor here on behalf of our second place finisher Sikkim here, and Sikkim came in very very late, just getting in right in the nick of time for qualifying, putting down some good qualifying times there. But Pigham's coming out actually on top, sitting in pole position here today. But immediately he jumped out into the lead of the race and had immediate pressure from just Penelope, Pigham's, Doug, and Hair Razor. So. I mean, do your thing, Hair Razor. We'll let you speak on his behalf here.
I think he did really well, to be honest with you. He was really good on pace. I don't think we could catch him at all, even though we tried our best. But yeah, he was a really quick driver, and Penelope as well. They're really super fast, and so is Pigham's. Phew. They are really tough, but yes, we tried our best. And as I said, I had a bit of a trying to help Doug along a little bit. I did tap him forward a little bit to try and push him up to try and get Penelope, but we didn't quite get there. But it was worth a go.
Absolutely, and I mean Sikkim, very fortunate. Obviously, something happening with Piggins and Penelope, whether it was just two singular events in the same corner or whatever the case may have been there, but they dropped out of the podium contention about lap 6 or 7 or whatever it was there. And then Sikkim got that cushion, that comfortable gap, and he really started to open up the time a little bit, and then he started to lose it. And then at the end of the race, the one fatal error, he got that uphill corner out of the chicane just a little bit wrong, spun that car around going into pit entry, and ultimately costing him the race win here today. It was a great effort to try and track Piggham's down before the end of the race and get that position back, but about 0.3 of a second short today. So great race from that driver. He's been quick all season long, ladies and gentlemen. And any shoutouts or thank yous or anything like that from Hair Razor?
Yeah, shout out to all the drivers because they've all done a phenomenal job, even from front to back. And also for the drivers, blue flagged as well. They did a phenomenal job of getting out of the way for all the drivers that were challenging each other. Well done, guys.
Absolutely. And I actually kind of want to touch base on that just a little bit. We were talking about Action Jackson, as Hair Razor calling him on screen. It was Schnauzer, ladies and gentlemen. First race of the season for the BMW for that driver, and although it didn't look like he was having a great race, I really felt like he had a good race, and that was the one thing we did notice the most on the broadcast was how well he was able to let lap traffic go through in a very technical sector without really costing his race or the lead lap traffic's race either. So he's definitely got some great potential moving forward here at the GTRC. So just a little side note there as well on that mention of the blue flag cars here today. Great call there as well, Hair Razor.
Yeah, for sure. Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah, hopefully I'll be glad to see them hopefully come further up the grid and hopefully do very well and join in the action as well. So good luck to them, guys.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you being here on behalf of Sikkim, and can't wait to see what you and Sikkim do in the GT4 next weekend here as well.
Hopefully we'll push up a bit more and have a better battle. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Cheers, and enjoy your evening, and thanks for giving us a little extra time here today.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but definitely not least here today, it is Apex Racing's Pigums. He does come out with the race win here today. He was also the pole sitter. I don't know who got fastest lap on the racetrack here at the end of the day. I wasn't actually paying attention. My bad to everybody in the chat viewing here today, but we will sort that out obviously with the
I think Sikkim got it.
idea. Okay, I figured it was a pretty good lap there. So
I think he had a 24.8, I want to say.
something like that. Yeah, it was definitely a 24.8 the last time I seen. So a great race from you. A little bit of shifting of events throughout the race, but at the end of the day, you came out 0.3 of a second in the lead, and that was enough for you to take the checkered flag here today. So first of all, congratulations on the first podium of the season, first win of the season for you here this season, and talk us through it, man.
Oh man, that was an interesting one. I was a little surprised to start in front of Sikkim there, but he took that back pretty quick, so everything went back to normal after start. But as far as you mentioned earlier there, now the two incidents were totally unrelated. I went off and I just happened to see my mirror. It went off behind me and just completely coincidental there. Overjudged it and caught a bit of grass and ended up in the wall. And luckily, Sikkim made a similar similar mistake later in the race and kind of evened it out in the end. So we got to have a race in the end after all.
So let's talk about that battle for the lead. You guys come out at the midway point of the race on your pit stops. You come out just a couple seconds behind the race leader Sikkim. You were right on his tail right at the beginning of the race with just Penelope right in behind. You guys were breaking free at the pack. It was looking like it was just going to be a battle between the three of you all race long. And then, of course, like you said, both you and Penelope both making similar mistakes in a similar corner, in the same corner, and costing yourselves about 8 seconds on the racetrack at that point in time. But then Sikkim coming through with just a few minutes remaining up the hill out of the chicane, getting a little bit of grass, and he spun that car around as well, and it gave that time right back. And it was just like the race had started all over again. You managed to get around him, put a little bit of gap between you and him. It was about 7 seconds to start, but he really started to push and reel you in. What were you thinking in the last 3 or 4 laps as that time has come down from 7 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1.5?
I was just hoping I had more fuel than he did at that point. When I saw him start pushing like that, I knew he must have had at least close to enough to push hard. I was just on the edge of not having enough. I think I finished like 0.1 or something, 0.2. Because I had pitted a lap earlier than I planned like trying to get an undercut on him, and it did seem to work a little bit, but in the end, I really had to kind of watch where I was pushing there to stay ahead of him at the end, so I didn't run out of fuel. It was kind of lucked out, worked out in the end.
Absolutely, and just a touch note on that, I definitely can confirm he had at least another lap of fuel left in that tank when you guys did cross the start-finish line there. So the potential was definitely there for him. You just did enough to keep that driver just in behind you and take that checkered flag first. So big win for you, and the boys were all in chat cheering you on as always. And anything you want to add to your race today?
No, man, that couldn't have went any better in the end. For the way it played out, it ended perfectly. So a great race to Sikkim, and congrats to Doug on the podium as well.
Absolutely. Now to tighten up the standings now moving into round 4 as well, with only a couple of rounds remaining in the mini series here. What's the focus moving forward now?
Just try to keep finishing as close to Sikkim as possible, because odds are he's going to come. He's going to probably put some more time in for next week now, so we're going to have to be on the A game.
Absolutely. Well, there you hear it. Apex Pigums with that win today is going to put them right up in the conversation here in the top of the standings moving into round 4 in 2 weeks' time, ladies and gentlemen. So next weekend will be our GT4 Pro and Pro-Am lobbies here for round 3 as well. So it's going to be a very interesting day on the racetrack at Trial Mountain next weekend. But big congratulations to all the podium finishers again. Third place driver Doug Barrow, second place driver Sikkim, and first place driver here this weekend, Apex Racing's Pigums. Shoutouts and thank yous, my man.
Oh man, just all the guys put this on, the GTRC, yourself, all the Apex boys. Just thanks to everybody who helps and puts the time in to make all this stuff possible.
Absolutely, and cheers, and congratulations on the first win of this very early 2023 season here at GTRC. Hopefully we are. Hopefully we're talking to you a few more times on the top of that podium this season.
Yes, hopefully it's not a one-off.
Well, congratulations, and again, thanks for taking some time here today to come talk with us after the race. We really do appreciate it.
No worries. Have a great evening, everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there we have it. Is our racers, our top three finishers here. And as always, great podium interviews from the guys and the girls on the racetrack. Just Penelope in her very first debut race here today. Just shy of that podium finish here today, about 5/10 of a second behind third place finisher Doug Burrow. Great battle between those two for a large part of the race. She has great pace. She looked real good. And look out. Just Penelope's on the prowl here at the GTRC BMW Mini Championship, ladies and gentlemen, coming in mid-season, looking very racy. Absolutely big warm welcome to our new drivers here. Action Jackson, as you heard Hair Racer call him, aka Snozzle, and of course just Penelope here, two new faces in the series today, and put on a pretty good display. So welcome into the community, welcome into the racing family, and we look forward to seeing what you guys have in future rounds here at the GTRC. Race recap. Just another great race, ladies and gentlemen, from these guys and gals. The GTRC really is a great community. It's a community more based on the family and the community than it is more the competitive aspect of the racing. With sponsors stepping in this season for the big championship, it's kind of changed the rhythm a little tiny bit around the Discord, but it seems like everybody's really starting to settle into it now. And I got to tell you, that GT4 championship has been popping off this season. It's just been an incredible set of races that these guys are having week in and week out. It's a fun series. We race the Pro and the Pro-Am lobbies side by side at the same time with the same track, and the teammates are racing the same cars. So it's a solo individual championship for each of the two divisions, plus a team points and manufacturer championship included as well. So there's so much more for these drivers to be thinking about than just what they're doing in their own division here in this series, and it's really a great thing because the pro drivers get an opportunity to work with the drivers in the Pro-Am lobbies, and the Pro-Am drivers really get to benefit from that experience and that knowledge from the faster paced drivers. And at the end of the day, it's just going to help every single driver, right from the top of Pro right down to the top of Pro-Am, reserves included. It's just going to make each one of these individuals a better racer at the end of the season. So great vibe here at the GTRC. That's why we're such a big partner here with the GTRC at GT45 Gaming, and we really do appreciate everybody's support week in and week out, whether it's our mini series or our major championships or it's just a one-off fun night. Your viewership matters. You matter. We appreciate you. We see you. We love you. And thank you to all the volunteers behind the scenes that keeps everything going. And a special shout out to Hyperi Graphics, the man behind the scenes here as well. You know, he helps out a lot here. He does our overlays for the big championship, and he's taking in a bigger role here as well in the GTRC now. So I love to have him here, being a part of the team, doing what he does best, and making the streams look absolutely top-notch and professional. So we appreciate everybody. Again, presented by the Gran Turismo Racing community. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and also one of the main title sponsors here for the community moving forward in the future, and of course in the GT4 Championship being ran next weekend for round 3 at Trial Mountain. It's going to be a fun race, let me tell you. So thanks for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we all enjoyed our Saturday afternoon or evening endeavors. And if you haven't liked or shared yet on the way out, if you wouldn't mind doing so, that'd be fantastic. It's something free you can do to help us grow. And if you have already, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. You're all legends as always. Stay winning, and remember, folks, you all matter. We love you. We'll see you soon.